A very good afternoon as we welcome you to beautiful Tuscany, Bellissima Toscana for race one, round one of the 2024 European Formula 4 Championship. Yes, the Euro 4 Series is back as the cars set off on their formation lap. Round one of three for 2024. Three-round series for 2024. Starting here at Mugello. And then we go to the fabulous Red Bull Ring in Austria on the 15th of September. And then at the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, which of course takes place in 8 days' time. That is, of course, Monza on October the 6th. A scorching summer's afternoon here at Mugello. The cars off on their formation lap. Akshay Bora, pole position this morning in qualifying. The Indian Singaporean from New York for the German team here in the Euro Series, taking pole position Q1 for race one here this afternoon, race two tomorrow morning, and race three tomorrow afternoon as well. The US racing team in form and looking to take out their second title in 12 months after Kasper Stuka, the Polish driver, took the Italian championship for 2023. And of course, there's something like 20 Formula 4 Series racing all around the world. This is the European Championship, the Euro 4 Series, a three-round challenge for 2024. McLaren's Ugo Ugochukwu, the American taking the title, came down to the last race at Barcelona in 2023. But it's Akshay Bora who starts on pole position. Hiyu Yamakashi out of grid 2 for the Van Amersfoort racing team. His VAR teammate Gustav Jonsson out of grid 3, Kim Nakamura-Berta out of 4. 27 cars on the grid, including 2 drivers having their first ever car race here this afternoon. Sorry, I'll correct that. First ever Formula 4 race. For Gabriel Gomez, the boy from Brazil, it's his first ever car race. Factory CRG racing driver. In World Kart Racing, Matteo Marchiante has been racing in the Italian Prototype Championship for the past couple of rounds of his national series, and has his first run in Formula 4 here this afternoon. The cars come down through the S's, the penultimate corner. Akshay Bora leads the field around. There is the New Yorker from Singapore. Yes, that is correct, a hugely international driver. His father watching on from down on the equator. The Lion City. He starts on pole position here for race one. Akshay Bora, Hiyu Yamakashi, that's the front row of the grid. US Racing versus Van Amersfoort Racing. Jonsson, Nakamura-Berta, Rashid Al-Daheri, Freddie Slater, Jack Beaton, Dion Gowda, Maxim Ram, and Gianmarco Bradell out of grid 10. The sun soon to set here in beautiful Toscana. There is Akshay Bora to the left of your screen. Hiyu Yamakashi, second year in Formula 4 racing for the Japanese driver. Thomas Stoltemanis, the Latvian, car 33 for the Prema racing team. Starts on the 6th row of the grid, ahead of Enzo Ye, who went off in qualifying this morning, the RSGP driver. Starting alongside Ethan Isher, who had a good run in qualifying this morning. He's right behind the Jamaican Alex Powell, who pulls into position. There's Maximilian Popov, Kabir Anurag, the second Singaporean. Behind him, that's Lin Hedenuis, who pulls into position. Luca Vistoriano for Real Racing. Alvisa Rodella, the American Everett Stack. And Matteo Marchiante, first Formula 4 race for the Italian out of grid 27. Welcome to the MotoGP circuit of Mugello, round one, race one, the three-round series, the Euro 4 Championship. It's back for 2024. The 5 red lights, Bora on pole position. We race the Euro 4 Championship for the second season, and Bora blasts off the line as Gustav Jonsson, Hiyu Yamakashi, the Van Amersfoort racing drivers go side by side as they race up the hill. Superstar from Kabir Anurag as Rashid Al-Daheri sends it down the inside. The Emirati up to P5. Slater behind in P6. It's Bora who's got the race lead as they come out of San Donato for the first time. Ethan Isher and Iafrey, the two Swiss drivers for the Swiss Jensen Motorsport team on the charge. There's Jack on the attack, beaten. Trying to make up places in the early stages of the race. He's right behind Rashid Al-Daheri. As they go through the left-hander, Borgo San Lorenzo. There's Enzo Ye on the outside, Olivieri. As Nakamura Berta almost into the gravel. Rashid right behind, but it's Border who leads from Yamakwashi. Gustav Jonsson up into P3. Nakamura Berta, Slater, beaten. Gauda, Rashid Al-Daheri, Maxim Ram up into P10. And then the Jamaican sensation superstart for the Mercedes AMG Junior. There's Alex coming down the hill now, already up into P10. Trying to catch up to the back of Maxim Ram. He's got Gianmarco Pradel behind. Clean start for race one, round one of the Euro 4 Championship. The Euro 4 Series back for the second time after the McLaren Junior Ugo Ugachuku took the inaugural title in 2023. But it's Porter who leads as they go down into turn 15 to complete the first lap of race one. A clean start here at Mugello. We'll check the gap from Border to Yamakwashi and Jonsson. They come across the line. Akshay Border, the gap. Half a second clear as we've got 1-2 cars going very wide. And the gravel traps are working superbly. Track limits. You saw it in action right there. It was Olivieri and Savinkov going on wide. Nice pass down the inside. Dion Gauda fighting with Jack Beaton, who's now on the outside. Rashid Al-Daheri, he's lost a couple of places, the Emirati. As Gianmarco Pradel comes into pit lane. And the Sydney sider, it looks as though he's got a problem. He took his first ever podium at this very circuit in the Italian National Series. Just reminding you, this is the Euro 4 Championship, the 3-round challenge. Back for the second year, running in conjunction with some 20 National Formula 4 series around the world. Gianmarco Pradel down into pit lane. The car looked straight, but he was running slowly. Did not look as though he had obvious or major damage as Slater runs very wide. Keeps it back on track. Oh, there is damage. Look at the left rear. Gianmarco is out of the car. His engineer, Miguel, talking to his Australian driver. Does the Spanish engineer. Nothing they can do about that. A left rear puncture and damage to the left rear suspension. And Pradel out after just one lap of race one of the Euro 4 Championship here in Tuscany. Yamakwashi goes in deep under brakes down into turn 15. There's Jonsson just behind. Nakamura Bertha, Slater Gauda beaten. There's Rashid and the Huawei backs car 14 coming onto the straight. Maxim Ram gives the slipstream to Alex Powell, the Mercedes AMG Junior. Tries to take the young German star, does Alex, as they race across the line, 233 kilometers an hour. As we start lap 3, the gap comes down to 0.3 of a second between Border and Yamakwashi. Alex Powell trying to go around Maxim Ram as you can see the Japanese star is catching up to the back of Border, who dominated qualifying this morning with 3 pole positions for the 3 races here this morning. Well, qualifying was this morning, the first race here this afternoon, race 2 tomorrow morning and race 3 tomorrow evening here at Mugello. Round 2, that's on September 15 at the Red Bull Ring. As we see the second driver down into the pits as Thomas Stoltemanis, with Pradel just behind and beaten as well as Jonsson goes off the road. Gustav throws it into the grass. It was almost the end of the Swedes race right there and then. Beaton and Pradel, the 2 Australians, have pulled into pit lane, as has Thomas Stoltemanis. And Kim Nakamura Berta, who took his first ever Formula 4 race win at Paul Ricard in the south of France just over a month ago. The Alpine F1 Academy junior driver closes up on the back of the Swede Gustav Jonsson, who turns in wide. It was almost the end of Gustav's race just a few moments ago. Superb skill from the Swede to keep it back on track, but now he's got K&B breathing down his neck. Nakamura Berta, you know that's fast Freddy, who's catching up to the both of them Freddie Slater, the Englishman who leads the Italian Championship, made his first ever, had his first ever Formula 4 start in the Euro 4 Series in 2023. That was with the Van Amersfoort Racing Team. Freddie Slater now in P5. Dion Gauda just behind. Nakamura Bertha trying to get the pass on Gustav Jonsson. Gustav accelerates away from the English-born Japanese driver for just a moment. And Gustav Jonsson safe in third place. The early stages and a relatively clean start for race one, round one of the Euro 4 Championship for 2024. It's Akshay Bora who leads the way, and he's pulling away as well. 0.6 of a second now as they go through this sector. Out of Borgo San Lorenzo, down into Arrabbiata 1, Arrabbiata 2. There's Rashid, Maxim Ram, Powell, Ethan Isha, and Frey, the two Swiss drivers for the Swiss Genza Motorsport team. 10 and 11, and then Davide Larini for the PHM Racing team. The first of the AIX Golden Cars ahead of Enzo Ye, Olivieri, Vissoriano, Luca. Up into 16th place is the Romanian rookie for the Romanian Real Racing team. He's ahead of Rodella, Kostic, Gomez. First ever car race for the highly rated South American. Third in the World Kart Racing Championships. Multiple WSK podiums for the CRG Racing team. Gabriel Gomez ahead of Stack, Hotenio Savinkov. Anurag Kabira, who was off the road on the opening lap of the race. And Mattia Marchiante for the AKM Motorsport team of Marco and Andrea Antonelli rounds out the field in 24th position. Stoltemanis, Beaton, and Brodell are out. This is Slater, not used to being in position 5. The British driver, a season racing in the Ginetta Series in 2023. A few starts in the Euro Series in 2023 for the Van Amersfoort Racing team, as Kabir Anurag also enters into pit lane. Has an enormous lead in the Italian Championship after that series previous round at Paul Ricard in the south of France. But at the moment, Slater is in P5 and Dion Gauda has set the fastest lap of the race. The second Indian driver, the first of which is, of course, Akshay Bora on your screen, down through Arrabbiata 1. Dion with a 1:49.635. P6, but the fastest driver on the circuit. Kin Nakamura Berta, P4. Gustav Jonsson, second season in car racing for Gustav. After racing in the British Formula 4 Series in 2023, locks up slightly. That's K&B. Alpine F1 Academy junior driver, former junior World Kart Racing champion with the Forza Racing team at Campos in the south of Spain. A couple of seasons ago now. Kin Nakamura Berta, the first of the rookies as well. In fourth place, Gustav Jonsson, British Championship Rookie of the Year in 2023, and at the moment he's in third place after going off the road a few laps ago. As Thomas Stoltemanis, who has rejoined after a pit stop, still circulating down in 24th place. The blue flags will inevitably be shown for the Latvian, who was on the podium at Paul Ricard in the Italian Series just over a month ago. He is still circulating, but he's way down in 24th place, and the leaders are bearing down on the Latvian. There's Slater on your screen. Head of Gauda, Albaheri, and behind Kin Nakamura Berta. The gap out to 0.7 of a second now from Bora back to Yamakashi and Gustav Jonsson. Nakamura Berta. There's Slater, Gauda, Rashid. Pulls away from Maxim Rem. Alex Powell up into P9. Something of a recovery after starting out of grid 12. Not a happy run in qualifying for Alex Powell this morning. He is still the third rookie in the race behind Maxim Rem, who's 8th outright. Second rookie, and Kin Nakamura Berta on your screen right there. P4 in the first of the rookies. Slater just behind. Stoltemanis still circulating, so the retirements are the two Australians, Jack Beat and Jamako Pradel, and also now Kabir Anurag. Slater works the steering wheel, not used to being in P5 after taking, I think off memory, 9 wins in the Italian National Series. This is the Euro 4 Championship, the 3-round challenge back for 2024. Right here at the former home of the Tuscan Formula One Grand Prix, September 15, we go to arguably the most beautiful circuit in the world, the magnificent Red Bull Ring in Austria. And then the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, which incidentally takes place in 8 days' time at the Cathedral of Speed. Of course, that's Monza. And the series final on October 6th of the Euro 4 Championship. Yamakoshi takes 0.2 of a second out of Akshay Bora. Here's Kin Nakamura Berta through turn 3, Borgo San Lorenzo. The highest part of the circuit, the high-speed rail line, actually runs under this part of the track, would you believe? As La Freccia Rossa and the high-speed trains here in Italy pass under this part of the circuit at some 300 kilometers an hour. Hard to imagine, but that's what they're doing. I won't say right now because I don't know the local train schedules on the way to the nearby city of Florence. Magnificent circuit is Mugello, built in the early 1970s. Better known as the home of the Italian MotoGP, the Tuscan Formula One Grand Prix, as well as some incredible series in years gone by. The former Formula 3000 Championship, Super League Series, DTMers, of course, has raced here as well. The first round of the Euro 4 Series, you look at the Englishman, Freddie Slater, P5 at the moment. Nakamura Berta, Slater, and Gouda, all for the Prema Racing team. Jonsson. Here's Freddie down into turn 15. 1 second back to his Japanese rival. Well, the out from it, Kin Nakamura Berta to Slater. Dion Gouda, car 50, P6. Just too far ahead to give the slipstream is Slater. Back to Gouda, Aldeheri, Rampal, Ethan Isha, still in P10. Here's the first of the two Swiss drivers, his Swiss teammate Enia Frey just behind. Ladini, Popov, Yeh, Olivieri, Vistoriano, Rodella, Kostic, Gomez, Stack, Savinkov, Marchiante, Lin Hodenuis, and Thomas Stoltemanis has pulled back into pit lane. And it looks as though the Latvian's afternoon is now over. Approaching half race distance, a sedate start, a clean start. The 27 starters in round 1 of the Euro 4 Series. There is Rashid from Maxim Rem. Powell, Isha. Good run from Ethan Isha. Second year in Formula 4 car racing is Ethan for the legendary Gensa Motorsport team. News coming over the summer break that this is the last season in the FIA Formula 3 World Championship for the Gensa Motorsport team. Unofficially, that entry will be picked up in 2025 by the Dams team. This just a few moments ago, Lin Hodenuis, Marchiante around the outside. Lin Hodenuis pulls off to the side of the circuit. Nice driving from the Formula 4 rookie, Mattia Marchiante, as Lin Hodenuis retires to the side of the circuit and we stay green. 0.5 of a second, Akshay Bora on your screen. Races uphill the 1.1 kilometre circuit straight. You're in this 5.2 kilometre Mugello circuit. 0.7 of a second now to Yamakoshi. The gap looks closer than that as they close up under brakes into San Donato, turn 1. Back to Gustav Jonsson. P3 for the Swede. It looked as though at the start of 2024, Gustav would be pursuing a career in GT racing, testing and looking as though he would race in GT or potentially Carrera Cup after a Porsche GT3 test at the start of 2024. Van Amersfoort racing though for the Swede. And at the moment, Gustav Jonsson is in third place. Off the road in the background, Ethan Isha throws it into the gravel. Ethan Isha goes rallycross. He was driving superbly inside the top 10. You just got a glimpse of the Swiss driver go straight ahead as they came out of the top of the hill, out of Borgo San Lorenzo. We'll wait to see if he was able to rejoin. Border untroubled. He's got the lead as we move into the second half. Race 1, round 1, the 2024 Euro 4 Championship. Border comes onto the straight. I can tell you, Ethan Isha lost 5 seconds. We'll try and pick up the Swiss driver. It looked as though he's been able to rejoin and incredibly only lose 1, potentially 2 positions. If we can, we'll just try and get a replay, if we can, of Ethan Isha. Just speared straight ahead. At the corner, the leaders are approaching now, just a few moments ago. Incredibly, Ethan Isha, he's still holding 10th place. Eniafrey behind, Larini, Popov, Ye, Olivieri, Visoriano, Rodella, Kostic. That corner right there, 1 lap ago. Ethan Isha going straight ahead. We wait for the Swiss driver to come on screen. That was Rashid. In the background, the Emirati from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. 2 race wins in the UAE Formula 4 Series for Rashid to start the 2024 Formula 4 racing campaign. He's in 7th at the moment. Dion Gauda still the fastest on circuit with a 149.635. Nakamura Berta, the first of the rookies, P4 outright, trying to chase down Gustav Jonsson, but the Swede still holds P3. The 5 retirements, Lynn Hodenuis out after pulling off at the side of the circuit with an issue. Just in front of Matteo Marchianti. He's still continuing on. He's the final runner in position 22 at the moment. As you look at Yamakoshi come across the line. Hodenuis is out. Stolchamanis, Kabir Anurag pulls into pit lane. Some 5 laps ago now, and the 2 Australians, Jack Beaton and Gianmarco Pradel, the early retirements. Border extends the lead out to 0.8 of a second. Hio Yamakoshi, 2nd year in Formula 4 racing. Sideways on the exit as they go up to Borgo San Lorenzo, the highest part of the circuit. Here in Bellissima Toscana, beautiful Tuscany. About 45 minutes drive from the historic city of Firenze or Florence. The penultimate weekend of August, right in the heart of the European summer. Hio Yamakoshi, the 17-year-old from Tokyo in Japan. His racing idol, none other than the great Ronnie Quintarelli, 4-time All-Japan GT500 champion. Seasons racing in the Japanese Formula Nippon Championship, former Spiker Formula 1 driver. That is the racing idol of Hio Yamakoshi, who's been racing in Japan as Ronnie before Hio Yamakoshi was even born. The 17-year-old currently in 2nd place. Turns in, this is critical, this part of the circuit. Quite dusty, quite greasy. Offline, you can see the debris, the sand, the gravel on the side of the circuit, down through the S's into turn 15. Border, superb out front for the US racing team. Akshay on your screen, pole position for all 3 races here this weekend. Round 1 of the 3-round challenge series, the Euro 4 series. We'll check the gap. It was 0.89. We'll call it 0.9 of a second last time. Akshay Bora comes across the line right now. stays the same, 0.829. Yamakashi trying to get the slipstream at 229 kilometres an hour across the line. Can't do it this time. Yamakashi on screen for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Such great drivers in the past. Charles Leclerc, Max and Jos Verstappen if we go back far enough to the early 90s. As Yamakashi just grinds across the ripple strip. Nice car control by the Japanese driver who's in second place to Akshay Bora, who has been perfect this weekend in what will be his final season in Formula 4 car racing. His older brother Nikhil, of course, Nikhil racing in the Formula Regional European Championship. His parents watching on from Singapore, and hello to his grandmother who was so proud of her boy this morning. Also watching on in Singapore, Akshay Bora, pole position for all three races here this morning. And the US racing driver, I won't say he's dominating, but he's driving perfectly. He's got a lead down to 0.7 of a second as Yamakashi puts in a purple second sector of the race. Locks up though, the front right, spears straight ahead just a few metres to miss the apex. Driving as hard as he possibly can is Hiyu Yamakashi trying to bridge the gap to Bora, who's been brilliant from pole position. The final quarter of race one. Right to the edge of the circuit. That, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly how you perfectly define track limits. The white line, absolutely irrelevant in car racing. A gravel trap, and the drivers know exactly where the limit of the track is. Yamakashi stays at 0.7 of a second. There's Gustav Jonsson. P3, Nakamura Berta. Slater, Gouda. There's King going on through, the Alpine F1 Academy junior driver. Huge news, of course, as you know, in the past 24 hours as Jack Doohan, formerly racing in both the British and Italian Formula 4 series. Jack announced in the last 24 hours he'll become the third Australian on the 2025 FIA Formula 1 Grand Prix grid after signing with Alpine overnight. As the Alpine F1 Academy driver, Ken Nakamura Bertha, former junior World Kart Racing champion at the moment, the top rookie, and P4. Bora continues to lead 7 minutes plus 1 lap remaining in race one, round one of the 2024 Euro 4 Championship. Yamakashi has not given up on taking victory here this afternoon. It has been a huge week for the team from Cologne, US Racing. It would be their second victory in 6 days. After Ralf Schumacher, 6-time Formula 1 Grand Prix race winner, teamed up with his son David to take victory in both races at the Nürburgring last weekend. Fantastic to see in the LMP3 category, the German Sports Car Series, effectively the German Prototype Cup. And the US racing team, the U is for Ungar, as in Gerhard. The S is for Schumacher, as in Ralf. Ralf and David, huge congratulations on Ralf's comeback to racing for the first time since, sorry mate, I can't remember, it was the DTM well over a decade ago. Former Japanese Formula Nippon champion a couple of decades, 3 decades ago now. On his return, teaming up with his son David, and the US racing team taking victory in the German Prototype Cup. And they're about to take, you would think surely, their second victory in 6 days, because Akshay Bora has been superb, dominating qualifying, and he has dominated the first 25 minutes of this 30-minute plus 1 lap race here this afternoon. The gap comes down to 0.5 of a second though. Yamakashi takes a 10th out of Akshay. Here's Kin Nakamura Berta, P4 from Slater, Gouda, and Rashid Al-Daheri. 1 car off the road, one of the PHM drivers. You can see the sand has picked up. It looked to be pop-off. Lardini's going on through. As we see around the outside, Gabriel Gomez on debut. Maxim Popov, side by side with his teammates. Oh boy, cop that to Davide Lardini. Popov goes on through. Olivieri for the AKM Motorsport team takes advantage as well. Car 73, Emanuele Olivieri. Now up into position 13. Larini back into 14 from Ye. Visoriano, Rodella, Gomez. Here's Enzo Ye, just behind Larini. The Tuscan driver here in Tuscany for the PHM team. Enzo Ye trying to get a run. Larini still trying to build up momentum after going off into the gravel. Closes the door on Enzo Ye from Chinese Taipei, the sole entry for the French RACE team here this weekend, out of turn 15. Better entry that time from Davide, the second generation racer. Uses every inch of the racetrack and then some, but Enzo Ye has got the slipstream across the line at 231 kilometers an hour. Enzo Ye, will he send it up the inside, up into turn 1? Larini closes the door, no problem for Enzo. He tries the outside. Side by side between Larini and Enzo Ye. He's on the outside, that will become the inside. Sensational move. Fantastic pass. Enzo Ye goes through and picks up the place. Nicely done by the Chinese driver for the French RACE team here in Italy in race 1, round 1 of the European Series. Larini back to 15, then the Romanian Luca Visoriano. There is Luca in the background defending from Rodella, and the boy from Brazil, Gabriel Gomez, the CRG World Kart Racing star from South America, first ever car race, now finding the limits of the Tata's T421 car. The outrageously successful Formula 4 category, presented by the FIA back in 2013 when Gerhard Berger was the FIA single-seater commissioner. First series racing a year later in 2014, the 11th season of Formula 4 racing, and wow, hasn't it been a success? Something like 20 series racing all around the world. This is the second series for the Euro 4 Championship. And these are the final stages of race 1. Yamakoshi, you can see, has closed the gap. In fact, it's come down to 0.4 of a second. It does look closer than that, but you would think that Akshay Border has got it under control. The sun starting to set here in Tuscany. Akshay Border, P1 for the German US racing team. Yamakoshi from the land of the rising sun for the Dutch Van Amersfoort racing team. Second place, Janssen still in third. He's dropped right off this battle, still defending in third place. He's pulled away from Kin Nakamura Berta. Slater in 5. Better sector that time from Border. Yamakoshi working the steering wheel aggressively. Here's the Japanese driver. Racing in Spain in 2023, the Italian series in 2024, and the Euro 4 series as well, which of course, I'll remind you, was won by McLaren's Ugo Ugochukwu in 2023, taking the title in the very last race it was, taking victory over James Wharton. Akshay was third in last year's series from Arvid Lindblad, and Tuukka Tapanen, the Ferrari Driver Academy team driver from Finland, 5th in last year's series. Here's King Nakamura Berta into turn 15. We believe there are 2 laps remaining now. They'll cross the line with 30 seconds remaining. The gap 0.40 of a second, 0.4 of a second. Now it's out to 7/10. Border pulls away his father Bunty. A sigh of relief with that. The gap from 0.4 out to 0.7 of a second. As you get a glimpse of Goffredo Piro, team manager for the Prema Racing team, watching on from pit lane. The best of their drivers, Kin Nakamura Berta in P4. 4 of the Prema Racing drivers from 4th through to 7th. Nakamura Berta, Slater, Gauda, and Rashid Al-Bahedi. We have just passed the 30-minute mark, so next time round we'll get the last lap board, which I can tell you is being prepared on the start-finish line now. Akshay Border, the gap 0.7 of a second. Nakamura Bertha. There's Slater, Gowda. Freddie Slater actually closing up to the back of Ki Nakamura Bertha. The two former junior World Kart Racing champions in 4 and 5. Border turns in. Yamakoshi closes up in this part of the circuit as well. This just a few moments ago. Contact between the PHM car of Gomez, and it looked to be Kostic as well. Andrea Kostic. In fact, it was Gomez. Yes, it was Kostic, who's gone straight ahead, surely with damage. And it looks as though the Serbian will park the car on the side of the circuit. He has done so. Double yellow flags. Our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, will not throw the safety car unless it is absolutely necessary. Andrea Kostic steps out of the car. Double waved yellows as the last lap board is displayed for Akshay Border right now. He comes across the line. 7/10 of a second back to Hiyu Yamakoshi. Last lap for Akshay Border, who has dominated not only from the start of the race, but from qualifying here this morning at Mugello. Out of San Donato. Turn 3, Borgo San Lorenzo for the final time. Double yellows right there for Kostic. He's out. Gomez has continued on. The Brazilian in position 18 behind Rodella and ahead of the American Everett Stack. Last lap of the race, the first race of 3 here this weekend, the 3-round challenge series for 2024, the European Formula 4 Championship, the Euro 4 Series, Mugello, the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and the home of the Italian Formula 1 Grand Prix. That's over the next month and a half as Border runs wide, grinds on the ripple strip. The gap, 0.6 of a second. Surely Akshay's got this under control. Yamakoshi, position 2. Gustav Jonsson, also for the VAR team, in 3rd place. Turns in, perfect line, perfect exit. Down through the S's for the final time. The Indian Singaporean from New York, the United States of America, for the German-US racing team here in Italy. For race 1, round 1 of the Euro 4 Championship. Akshay has been awesome from the outset of qualifying. From pole position, Border, just brilliant. He was 3rd in last year's series. He comes across the line to take the checkered flag. Akshay Border with a super start to the 2024 Euro 4 Championship. Border wins race 1. Yamakoshi superb in 2nd. And Gustav Jonsson, also for the Van Amersfoort racing team, home in 3rd place. The fight for the final positions. Isha in position 10. Defending from any affray. Popov, Olivieri. Maxim Popov gets the run. They come across the line side by side. Powell has crossed the line 9. Isha 10 with the final point just ahead of that battle. Any affray. P11 just ahead of Maxim Popov. But the driver on your screen, car 31. Akshay Border, a perfect driver, a perfect day for Akshay Border. He wins from pole position with the dominant drive. He obviously saw what happened to George in the Belgian Grand Prix a month ago, or a few weeks ago, I should say. Maximum pickup. He won't have a problem. Pulls into pit lane. Pole position 3 times from 3 qualifying sessions this morning. He'll start from pole position for race 2 tomorrow and race 3 tomorrow afternoon. And he's just picked up maximum points here this afternoon with victory in race 1, round 1 of the 2024 Euro 4 Championship. Border with the victory from Hiyu Yamakoshi, Gustav Jonsson, Ki Nakamura Bertha just misses the podium, but he's the first rookie. Slater 5, Gowda 6, Rashid Al-Bahedi 7, Rem, Powell, the 3rd rookie home behind Maxim, who was the 2nd, and Ethan Isha ahead of his Swiss teammate Enya Frey. Isha with the final points in 10th place. Popov, Olivieri, Enzo Ye, Larini, Vissoriano, having a great run in his rookie season in car racing is the Romanian. Ahead of Rodella, Gomez, first ever car race for the PHM team, comes home 18th. From Stack, his American teammate Savinkov Markiante, the final finisher in P21. Oh, nicely done by Akshay. US Racing, their second victory in 6 days. Hiyu Yamakoshi's second place. Three rounds for 2024. 9 races and Border with a perfect start to the series with the first of 9 victories on offer. Gustav Jonsson celebrates with his Japanese teammate Hiyu Yamakoshi. The Japanese drivers, in fact, second and fourth, of course. Kin Nakamura, but that is your race winner for the US racing team, Akshay Bora. Jonsson on the podium in third place. Hiyu Yamakoshi in second through absolutely everything at Akshay Bora. Couldn't quite do it. Comes home in second place. The race winner, Akshay Bora, is down in pit lane with Laura Kola.
For the progression, I think we've shown.
Race 1 here in Mugello, Border from pole position. Led the field away as they raced uphill into San Donato. The Van Amersfoort racing drivers, Yamakoshi, Jonsson going second and third. Nice start by Rashid Albaheri, and the same could be said for Jack Beaton. Unfortunately for the latter, he would ultimately retire as Border led the field down into turn 1. Pulled away as Yamakoshi tried to close in, as Gustav Jonsson on the first lap of the race went very wide into the gravel. This was Len Hedenuus pulling off in front of Matteo Marchiante to retire. Vistoriano defending from the VAR drivers. Maxim Popov with an audacious pass on his teammate Larini, who lost 2 positions. This is Gomez coming together with Andrea Kostic. The Serbian would retire on the last lap of the race, but Border took victory from pole position and a perfect start to the 2024 Euro 4 Championship. So obviously, Akshay Bora is the championship leader after the first of 9 races, 3 rounds for 2024. Yamakoshi, Jonsson, Kin Nakamura Berta in fourth place. He's actually the first of the rookies. Second, Maxim Rem in the rookie race, just ahead of the Mercedes AMG Junior, Alex Powell. Gustav Jonsson in the gravel off the road was actually airborne and lucky to continue on, let alone make the podium, but the Swede drove back superbly. He takes position 3 for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Hiyu Yamakoshi in second, but P1 for the US racing team. Akshay Bora takes victory in the first round. First race of the first round here at Mugello. Mr. Raffaele Gianmaria, highly respected racing driver in his own right, presents third place trophy to Gustav, second to Hiyu, and first place to Akshay. Raffaele representing the Automobile Club of Italy together with WSK Promotion, presenting for the second year the 3-round Euro 4 Championship. Akshay Bora takes victory here this afternoon at Mugello.
Ok, andiamo con la foto di gruppo.
Akshay Border takes victory. The American citizen with the Indian racing license. P1 in race 1 here at Mugello. The US racing team, their second victory in 6 days of racing. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We'll be back for race 2 tomorrow morning at 8:30, where Akshay will start on pole position once again. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon and good evening from here at Mugello. We'll see you tomorrow morning.